What a night of disappointed movies. And I have just got to say that as disappointed as I thought How to Train Your Dragons 2 was, SpongeBob 2. How can you even describe that movie? I'm sorry. The fact is that what they advertise is not what you get. Okay? Let me tell you this. They advertise it as this film where you're going to get to see SpongeBob in the real world. And it's a 90-minute film. And let me tell you, they totally mess it up in every sense of the way. Um, First of all, there is a bad guy that's never mentioned in the trailers, and it's not Plankton. Uh, no, we get to see in the trailers, I believe, Plankton be like this Hulk thing that he does end up showing up as in the movie. And you think, oh, Plankton gets to play the hero, right? No, of course not. Uh, Nickelodeon couldn't do that. They just couldn't. They couldn't do that. That would be too smart. It would be too smart for Nickelodeon to take SpongeBob SquarePants and have Plankton go good. It would be too smart for them to do that. They can't do that. Because then maybe they'd be actually worth watching. Maybe they'd actually be on the way out of their slump. And people actually say, hey, maybe you should get Nickelodeon to make your mascot movie. I mean, if Nickelodeon wants to hand me the money to make my movie, fine. But if I have a choice, if it ever comes to the point where people are saying, yeah, I'll make your movie, and I have a choice between Nickelodeon Studios and any other studios, except maybe for Disney, I'm going with the other studio. Now, if just plain Paramount wants to make it, that's one thing. But Paramount being the parent company for Disney, or is it Viacom? I don't remember. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to the movie where we've got basically the plot line starts just like the first one did. It's it's Plankton is going to try to steal Krabby Patty, and been there, done that. The Krabby Patty formula just somehow magically disappears while he's fighting over it with SpongeBob, and no one, no one can figure out how. And I was like, I bet that pirate at the beginning has something to do with it. Lo and behold, he is. He's the bad guy, and at the end of the 30 minutes, we get our first the end. But that's not the end. There are a whole bunch of seagulls that say that can't be the end, where the formula has just been stolen and Bikini Bottom has been driven into this afterlife, not afterlife, apocalypse, where everyone's, even Sandy, is going crazy, and only sane people are SpongeBob and Plankton. Um, in all reality, this movie had so much potential, and it just ruined it all in the first 15 minutes. It did. I shut down, complete shutdown, plot-wise. I will have to say that's only plot-wise. Um, SpongeBob, and one thing that many people have complained about is the new generation of SpongeBob. All the characters are idiots. Now, they do very idiotic things in this, but I will say the characters of SpongeBob, and yes, even Patrick. Patrick is not as stupid as he is in the new generation. He is back to his classic stupidity of generation of the first couple seasons. So that was satisfying. SpongeBob is remotely smart in this. Squidward is likable, unlike how he's a total prick in the new seasons. Even Mr. Krabs is somewhat likable in this. So as far as character goes, this movie definitely did a good job getting out of the rut that the previous seasons of SpongeBob have been giving us. So, where did this all go wrong? Allow me to shed some light. Yeah, I forgot to move to the left, and this I forgot. This is in the mirror image, so if I move to the right, then my image goes to the left. Goofiness like that is pretty much what you can expect throughout this whole entire movie from every single character, including Plankton. Yeah. So anyway, in this, Plankton has to team up with SpongeBob for about the first half hour of the movie. You know, all that superhero stuff, all that real world stuff that we see, none of it happens until the last 30 minutes. You gotta go sit through an hour of BS first. Really. It's all about just what's going on in the Bikini Bottom, about how the apocalypse has started, and about how Plankton and SpongeBob have to find a way to fix this, convince them that Plankton is not the one who stole it. We'll get to that later. Anyway, so I can't talk about it anymore. It really is just that. Apocalyptic Bikini Bottom for an hour until finally they threaten to sacrifice SpongeBob because SpongeBob, among other things, says, no, you know, Plankton didn't do it. So they threaten to sacrifice him, and lo and behold, they decide instead, SpongeBob smells Krabby Patties coming from the surface. And this is where that pirate guy, the realistic looking pirate guy, comes back into play. Turns out he stole the formula. How? It just magically disappeared. So how did he get it? How? Big plot hole there. It's a kids movie, but kids aren't that dumb. Even little kids aren't that dumb. They're gonna be like, huh? How did that happen? I guess I don't need an answer. Oh, just wait until you hear the ending. Oh, yeah. Well, so let's get on to it. The last 30 minutes where everybody comes up to the surface. This is where the movie actually begins. Yes, an hour in, and the movie has actually finally begun. A 90-minute movie with a 1 hour Act 1. 50 minutes minimum. 45, 50 minute, over half the movie is Act 1. No. It's worse than Ted. Ted 2, I mean. It's worse than Ted 2. I complained about a very long Act 1 and an unsatisfying Act 2. Well, there is no Act 2 in this. It goes straight from Act 2 to Act 1 to Act 2. I mean Act 3. It goes straight from Act 1 to Act 3. Act 2 is it's all of 5 minutes. It is literally 5 minutes long. They find the guy. They're like, you're illegally making Krabby Patties. We're going to have to take it back from you. And he's like, oh, no, you're not. And he writes them off. So there's this book that apparently all he has to do is write in it, and whatever he writes comes true. Anyway, to finish it off, he pretty much writes that they're going to go to Pelican Island, and they show up there, but lo and behold, SpongeBob has a piece of the paper of the book and writes down, nope, we're going to go back, we're going to have this epic battle, and we're going to win, and duh, that's what happens. And Plankton is there as well, and he writes a little something something, and you're going to be like, oh, he writes that he steals the formula? Well, apparently things don't turn out exactly like the book expects, because they actually almost lose the battle, and Plankton is actually the one to save them, like I said, by turning into a Hulk creature. And then he's like, now I understand what teamwork is. I'm never going to steal the Krabby Patty formula. And then SpongeBob writes, and things went back to normal. And things do go back to normal with Plankton trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula. And it is not a rehash of the first movie. It's worse. Way worse. I was hoping there would be some sort of saving grace in this, some sort of redeeming quality in this SpongeBob movie. But the fact was that of those final 30 minutes that they really could have made something of it, they really don't. For 20 of minutes, it's good, and then the 10 minutes ruins the whole rest of the movie, including those good 20 minutes. And don't even get me started on this pirate character and Bubbles, the name should say it all. Bubbles the dolphin. So, what do I give SpongeBob SquarePants 2, the movie, whatever you want to call it, Sponge Out of Water? It's going to get a 4 as well. A 4 in oh no, bad. You know, kids, they'll enjoy it once, but, you know, me, it's another case of hand me the first SpongeBob movie over this one, or better yet, hand me the first SpongeBob season over the movie. Sorry, but the fact is, it just didn't work out. And it's so sad because this movie did have the potential to be better than the first one. It did. If they had made it half an hour of setup and an hour of being out of water, even with this ending, how you have fallen, Nickelodeon. How you have fallen. All I can say is you'd better get back Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness, and you'd better make sure you don't lose Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because those are your only two good cartoons right now. Don't fool yourself, those are your only two good cartoons. I may be forgetting a couple. Stop with your reality shows. They don't work. And I don't mean the game shows. I mean shows like iCarly. I liked it. Drake and Bell. It was okay. Sam and Cat. I actually thought that was okay, but you know, canceled and everything. You know. Seriously, Cartoon Network has better cartoons than you do. That's sad. And you say, oh, we've still got SpongeBob SquarePants. Guess what? I'll take, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I'll take a Cartoon Network cartoon, any one of them, over a SpongeBob cartoon any day. Well, that's my review for SpongeBob SquarePants 2. And I hope it gives you a little bit of an aspect into what is happening to Nickelodeon and SpongeBob. Have a nice night.